This is David.
Hi there, David. This is Ron calling from. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Reason for the call. I was actually passed your file here at the corporate office by my social media team. I understand you recently reached out to them with a complaint.
Well, I just tweeted that I had a horrible experience with this weekend, and I wouldn't recommend them. And that's what I tweeted.
Gosh, could you tell me what happened?
Sure. So I arrived at the airport in Tampa, Florida at 4 o'clock for a 6:35 p.m. departing flight.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't flown since before the pandemic. I've flown for both business and pleasure. This was a pleasure trip. And I just flew to Tampa to spend the weekend with 3 friends of mine at Saddlebrook Golf Resort. And so I flew in from Pensacola, Florida to Tampa. I flew in and I flew out. And so I get to the gate, and this is a little different.
Yeah.
And I normally just fly on occasion, but the majority of my flights professionally are airlines because that's who they book us on. Our company uses a third-party travel agency to handle stuff for us. So most of the time I'm a regional vice president of operations for a healthcare company, and we own and operate nursing homes across the United States. And so I fly and I have a territory. So with that being said, Tampa was a pleasure trip. I get to the airport Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Did you tie an onion to your belt?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, you said 4 o'clock? You got
Tampa.
that? Yep, got you, okay.
I got to Tampa International at 4 o'clock where my flight was to depart at 6:35.
Okay.
And I don't have all that flight information in front of me, but at any rate, I walk up to the desk. I pass the kiosks because it's kind of an optional thing. I can go past the kiosks, walk up, hand them my bag, hand them my ID. They do everything, and I just turn around and walk away with my boarding pass and stuff in my hand. I've got the apps, but I guess I just don't like to use the apps, and so I had downloaded, but I just walked up. Well, first of all, I waited in line over 15 minutes to make it to the desk. I get up to the desk, and this young lady named Brinny, Brinny, says to me, where's your information? And I said, I'm sorry, what information are you referring to? And she said, well, where's your boarding pass? Where is your checked luggage tag? And I said, that's why I walked up here, honey. Here's my credit card. Here's my ID. I need to check in and pay for my bag. And she goes, no, that's not how we do it here. You go over to the kiosks, you check yourself in, and then you bring me the tag, and I will tag your luggage for you. And I said, okay. I said, can you make sure? I said, will you walk over here to the kiosk with me and let me just make sure I know what I'm doing? I said, I normally don't use these. Are you there?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes? Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. I heard an odd noise.
Huh?
I keep hearing an odd noise in the background, so it's distracting.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what that could be. But continue.
She walks over to the kiosk and points to the word English and says, push English, and turns around and walks away. Well, I'm very familiar with my native tongue. I realize I speak English. The last thing I need anyone to do is tell me to push English on the kiosk.
Yes.
I was more concerned about getting through the steps. But she walked away. I stood there and made my way through it. I actually had to go on my cell phone, pick out the confirmation number, and do all of that at the kiosk. So I spent 15 to 20 minutes waiting in line for her to turn me around and send me to the kiosk. Well, then I stand there to the side because I've already waited in line 20 minutes. I've spent 5 or 10 minutes at the kiosk, and now I'm just standing to the side waiting on her to acknowledge me so that I don't get back into that long line. And the girl doesn't look in my direction, and they're doing other things. So I go and get back in line.
Mm-hmm.
And I wait in line for I'm going to say about 18 minutes this time. And I finally make it back up there. And unfortunately, she's the one that waited on me. So at the end of the transaction, after everything was said and done, I said, Brenny, I'm not happy with the way you treated me, and I'm not happy with the customer service. I would like to speak to a supervisor. And she, a African-American lady standing to her left said to me, you can go to .com and put your grievances. I said, no, ma'am.
Now, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, sir. Sorry to interrupt there, sir. Just for the purposes of my note taking, I'm not going to put what you said about her being African American. That doesn't really have any relevance to this conversation, and you can't just go around accusing someone of being black.
I'm not accusing her. I'm differentiating between Brenny and the lady.
I'm going to leave that out, though. It's a bit. Right.
Let me correct you, sir, real quick. My daughter's married to an African American young man. There's not a racist bone in my body. I'm simply differentiating that a woman that was not speaking to me initially spoke up and began to tell me to go to .com. You got it? Are you straight now?
Yeah, yes, sir, and I'm very sorry. Very sorry, sir. Does it keep you up at night thinking about what your daughter's doing?
Left, who just happened to be African American, said to me, you can go to .com and lodge your complaint. I said, no, ma'am, I'm not leaving this station until you find someone in a managerial position that can hear me now, because once I say my piece, I'm moving on. And I knew there was a supervisor on duty because there was a lady that was fussing that had 2 children with her that asked to speak to a supervisor, and a young Indian fella in a gray suit came over with a tag, and he talked to her. So then the same Indian fella, sorry, but he was Indian, he came over and spoke to me. I can't tell you what his name was because I couldn't make out his tag. And he started talking to me. And he basically said to me, which just was which added insult to injury. He basically said, well, Brenny didn't do anything wrong. You walked up to the wrong area, and so basically I did it to myself.
How do you know he was Indian?
His appearance and his accent.
There's no way he could have been Pakistani or any of the other places in that region? You just assume he was Indian?
Well, true.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just you're being very... I'm getting all this down for the recording now because I get that you're a little bit of a xenophobe. I imagine you're quite angry. You probably get a lot of sleepless nights thinking about what your daughter's doing with that big black cock in the bedroom. So anyway, continue.
You are a piece of shit. That's what you are.
Excuse me?
You are a piece of shit.
How?
There's no xenophobe here.
Really? You sound like a girly, effeminate, whiny male Karen who's about 106 years old and is obviously very bitter about what his daughter does in the bedroom every night, and that's what's turned you into this monster. I
will definitely tweet this as well.
That's great. I'm going to definitely put you on the no-fly list so that you can't bother any of our staff again, of any race, to be honest with you. You've brought up like 3 different people's race because apparently that's how your genius ass identifies.
I'm trying to let you know by being specific how the experience flowed even after I left Tampa.
Have you ever?
That's what I'm trying to do.
How do you have a daughter?
There's not a racist bone in my body.
How do you have a daughter when I can tell from the sound of your voice that you're about as camp as a row of tents? Answer me that one.
I'm sorry?
You sound like you're wearing a little pink dress right now. Oh, and then I went to the desk. You sound like a dickhead, to be quite honest with you. I'm putting you on the no-fly list. You and your grizzled, campy ass are not going to come anywhere near any of our airports again, okay? And that is for the safety of our staff. I have identified that you're a racist. I have it on record. And honestly, if you keep up this behavior, I will put you through to a supervisor. Now, I suggest if you want to carry on the rest of this conversation, you settle down and you stop with the casual racism. Okay, bub?
I don't want to go forward with this conversation. I've never been mistreated when I'm trying to tell someone how I was mistreated.
Yeah. Whatever, you soppy little queen. Now, do you want to talk to a supervisor, or do you just want to accept that you're on the no-fly list?
Please.
All right, good. You hold on to your panties there, you whining little fucking bitch boy fucking motherfucker.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold.
It's a great day to fly. This is Hazel from the Senior Customer Service and Sensitivity Department. How may I help you today?
Hey, Hazel. I'm David from Mobile,
Hi,
Alabama.
David. How are you today?
I'm not well at all.
Oh, my goodness, David. What happened?
Well, I was just, I received a phone call from you guys because I tweeted on Twitter that I had a bad experience with and I don't recommend flying them based on what happened to me this weekend.
Did you not want us to call?
And the guy just said that I'm a racist. He's put me on the no-fly list, that I abused your staff. I'm a rule follower, ma'am. I didn't abuse nobody.
David, let's unpack this.
Haven't abused a soul.
David, let's unpack this. So what was the first thing that he said? I missed it.
He called me a racist when I
let's
when I was
unpack
talking
that
to
as
a
part
girl.
of our sensitivity training. Why did he call you a racist? Just out
I'm
of
about
the blue?
to tell you. So Brenny, the girl that was rude to me, her name was Brenny, Brinny. She's the girl that was rude to me, and I was saying to him, as when the transaction was over, after they got me checked in, I said to Brenny, Brenny, I don't appreciate the way you treated me, and I don't like the customer service that I did not receive when I was trying to check in. Who can I complain to? And I made the comment that an African-American woman standing to her left spoke up, and because I mentioned her race, he just jumped all over that.
David, when you mentioned that she was an African-American woman, how did that make you feel? Did you think that you deserved to be?
I was trying to differentiate that a lady that I was not doing business with spoke up and said, you can go to .com and lodge your complaint there. And I said, no, I want to talk to someone here today. Because once I talk to someone, I'm done with it and I'm moving on. And so Brenny said, hello?
Hi, did that make you angry?
What's that?
The comment of being told to go to and look this up?
It didn't make me, I was not irate at all with them. I just simply said, I don't like the same way I just said to you, I don't like the way I was treated. I don't like the customer service. I want to tell someone about my experience today. And I looked at the woman. That's
fantastic because you know what? We're all entitled to our feelings, and it's really great that you're sharing them. Continue.
Well, this is a very bizarre call, really. I'm a social worker by trade. I've been in healthcare 36 years.
For how long? 36 years as a social worker?
I told the guy that was talking to me, I said, when he accused me of being racist because I mentioned that the lady that butted in our conversation.
And that made you angry.
No, don't put words in my mouth. I wasn't angry. I just simply looked at her and said, no, ma'am, I'm not going to go.
Okay, sir, I'm
not going to .com. I'm going to talk to someone today, and then once I say it, I'm done with it. And I even told the gentleman on the phone a while ago, he goes, I said, my daughter is married to an African American. In fact, I've got Filipino, African
Does
American,
that make
and
you
Hispanic
angry?
in my
That's quite
family.
a diverse
I'm
family.
sorry?
I don't understand why you would ever need diversity training. You have a very diverse family. That's wonderful. We can all learn from each other's cultures, can't we?
But why did your customer? I mean, I don't know. Is this for real? Is this call for real? Because he even said to me, "I bet you stay up at night thinking about your daughter's husband's black cock going in her." Why would he make that comment to me?
Sir, we don't speak. This is a professional phone call.
No, ma'am. Not for me. It wasn't. And he told me I sounded like a little girl on the phone who got her pink panties all ruffled.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why he would have said that. That's really strange. This is a very strange conversation, sir. So
it is very strange.
I've never heard anything quite like that.
When I mentioned that she went and got a supervisor, I said, the only reason why I'm mentioning their ethnicity is because I'm trying to differentiate between the people I interacted with. Then I said the supervisor was an Indian young man in a gray suit wearing a badge. That's what I said.
Like a banjo type?
Must you keep
was he an Indian or was he a banjo?
He goes, must you keep mentioning race? Could he be from Pakistan or Turkey or some surrounding area? And I said, well, yes, sir. He could be from one of those countries. He could.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he was
I don't know.
Legally?
I was trying to let you guys know as I'm moving through this complaint, the people that I interacted with American Airlines, their race is irrelevant to me. I love everyone. I'm Christian by faith. I love everybody. I don't care if you're purple with 6 green children. That's none of my business. I'm just walking y'all through my day.
That would be concerning if someone was purple with green children.
At the Tampa airport.
Sir, it sounds like you had trouble when you were with Brinny and the crew at the actual airport. And it sounds like you also had trouble with the last customer service rep. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, you're going in and out. What was that last thing about the customer service rep?
It sounds like you also had trouble with the last customer service rep as well. Is that correct?
Right. When I was talking to the gentleman, he was like, well, sir, it's not our fault you got in the wrong line.
Right.
Because,
but I mean,
ma'am,
sometimes, sir, when we find ourselves in conflict with many different people, we need to ask ourselves, are they the problem or am I the problem? Because when it keeps happening all the time, sometimes you need to ask yourself, why? Why do you keep having these conflicts with people all the time?
I'm not having, No.
Yes.
No, ma'am. I'm not having conflicts with people.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get my boarding pass to get on my flight.
Are you at the airport right now?
No, ma'am. I got home at 2 a.m. this morning, thanks to.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I'm glad we got you home safely. That's part of the journey, and we appreciate you using us. How may I help you? I still don't understand.
That pissed him off.